Day 2. The Cost of Discipleship, Surrendering All. Martyred missionary Jim Elliot, on the mission to bring the good news of Jesus' sacrifice and salvation to the Auca tribe in Ecuador, penned in his journal before his death, "He is no fool who gives what he cannot keep to gain that which he cannot lose." Imagine you're holding something precious in your hand and your friend wants to give you something. But for the fear of losing what you have in your hand, you end up closing and clenching your fist, only to later realize that which your friend wanted to give you was far more valuable than what you held in your hand. See, refusing to surrender to God and holding on to our own self-interest is like clutching on to our own desires. We make no room to receive what God has in store to give us. Jesus said in Mark chapter 8 verse 34, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me." See, the cross is a symbol of death. When Jesus called his followers to take up their cross, he was calling them to a life of self-denial, sacrifice, and complete surrender to him. In other words, a death to self. See, many of us are satisfied with just wearing a cross as a symbol of our faith, as a fashion statement. Seldom do we recognize that Jesus told us to bear the cross, meaning to carry it, and that means to be subject, to be under the weight of its authority, and not just wear it. Jesus himself set the ultimate example of surrendering. In John chapter 6 verse 38 we read, "For he said, I have come down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him who sent me, God the Father." In Gethsemane, as he prayed with agony before his death on the cross, he said, "Not my will, but your will be done," submitting and surrendering totally to the will of God. His entire life is an example, a model of surrendering, teaching us that true discipleship means aligning our will with God's will. See, surrendering is not about losing our freedom. It's actually quite the contrary. It's about gaining something greater, true life and liberty. Jesus calls us not just to believe in him, but to become like him. We are to walk in humility, trust, and obedience, surrendering our fears, pride, desires, and control to him. What are you clutching on to that you need to let go and surrender totally to Jesus today?